So hello there guys, StriderVM here, and today I will show you some guides and tips in order to defeat the two-headed dragon, the currently latest trial in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. Now as a TLDR, this boss should be easier to defeat than the Antonella, provided that you know exactly what to do with this trial boss. Now first, you shouldn't really use any offensive magic or abilities that hit the dragon, otherwise you will probably wipe. So again, to summarize, don't use any limit breaks that hit the boss. You can use limit breaks that buff your whole party. You can use magic that buff your whole party, but you cannot use any magic that hits the boss. So what happens if you actually use magic against the boss? The boss will actually use Swallow repeatedly, and you'll probably die in a few turns. Now, if you actually try to use an ability skill against the boss, this includes limit breaks, the two-headed dragon will use Dragon's Voice, and that is a very severe debuff to all stats to your party, to the point that on the next turn, or at least on his next attack, those attacks will probably one-shot even your Cecil. So besides that, here are the other attacks that the two-headed dragon can do. Head Rush, which is physical damage with a chance to paralyze your party member. So it is suggested that you have paralyzation prevention items, as well as items or spells that could heal paralyzation. So this is why Cloud of Darkness is also really good against this boss, because she has that skill, Comeback, which actually cure poison, blind, sleep, silence, paralyze, and confuse to all allies. And even better, Comeback is an ability skill and not a spell, so even if Cloud of Darkness has been silenced, she could still use it. Now, after a certain amount of turns, the two-headed dragon will use the move Boost. If you see that, I actually suggest that you defend all your characters and apply debuffs when possible, because the actual next skill that the two-headed dragon will do will surely be Release, which is a really big magic damage with which also blinds and silences your whole party. And this is why, like I said earlier, Cloud of Darkness Comeback would be really insanely useful for this fight. Now, every 5 turns as well, the two-headed dragon will use the skill Swallow. This is instant death to a single party member. Now, because of this, it is very recommended that you have a Phoenix down or a character that can revive other party members. So now, let's go for equipment. Well, unfortunately, this boss is basically resistant to every elemental with the exception of ice. So this means elemental weapons are a no-go. And also, the two-headed dragon is immune to every status ailment, so don't do it, because besides not working, the two-headed dragon will use Swallow if it gets attacked using a spell. So let's go to the mission part. Again, like most scenarios, this trial has 4 missions. Complete the quest, party of 5 or less, defeat the two-headed dragon with an Esper, and clear without an ally being KO'd. Now on this 4, the hardest one to do would probably be clear without an ally being KO'd. So unless you have absolutely everything, I do not suggest you do that, because, well, as mentioned before, in the 5th turn, the two-headed dragon will use Swallow, which is an immediate death, which means on that point, unless you can kill the two-headed dragon in less than 5 turns, you will fail this mission. Still though, I'm not sure about this, but if you remember my earlier video about defeating Maxwell easily, the one where you first close the game, what I suggest is actually try to do that trick again on this boss and see if the two-headed dragon resets its attack pattern. So on to the other missions, we have Party of 5 or less. This should be the easiest one, and as you can see here, Kane was basically almost dead weight, and I could actually defeat the boss without Kane. So if I did not bring Kane along, I could have gotten that mission as well. So moving on, we have defeat the two-headed dragon with an Esper. Now this is slightly problematic but not impossible, because as mentioned before, the two-headed dragon is resistant to every elemental spell, and the only one that the two-headed dragon is not resistant is the ice, which means it is suggested to use Shiva as the Esper to defeat the two-headed dragon. Now the problem with that is that even on the maximum level, 2 stars on level 40, the Shiva Esper would probably just do about 2,000 to 3,000 points of damage to the two-headed dragon, which makes it pretty hard to time. If you miss the timing and the two-headed dragon is alive, the two-headed dragon could possibly wipe your party because it will repeatedly do swallow if a magic attack is used against it. So if you really want to risk it, you can try, but it is pretty risky. So besides all of that, I couldn't really suggest any more because, well, the boss is kind of simple enough in terms of strategy. Use normal attacks, don't use limit breaks that hit the dragon, don't use magic that hits the dragon, and just survive until you defeat the dragon. That seems simple enough. So anyway, this is StriderVM. I hope this video and tips could help you defeat the two-headed dragon in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. If you like this video, you're welcome to press that like button and perhaps even subscribe to my channel. And as always, I hope that I will still see you guys in another video.